Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today is the last day of our Wayfarer sew along. Today we're putting together all those beautiful pieces that we've been working on for the past week. I hope you took the time yesterday to not only snap the photo of all the pieces, but also admire your hard work. You've worked a lot this week and now it's time to see it all come to life in a beautiful sling backpack. We're going to start with the back piece. So take the one that has the vertical zipper, and we're going to add our D-ring connectors. We need to place those 1.5 inches from the bottom. So take your ruler and measure 1.5 inches from the bottom and mark that with either a small snip or a marking pen. You want to place your D-rings so that the ring itself is facing up, like so. Okay? And you want to start at the 1.5 mark, like this. Okay, same thing on the other side, again with the D-ring going up, and make sure that the bottom corner is the 1.5 inch mark, like so. Next we're going to add the quick release buckle to that front piece. So set this aside and grab your front pieces, the one with the that have the bottom part sewn in with the pocket and the lining. Also grab your quick release buckle, and for the buckle that will split in two parts, you will have two 4-inch webbings that are 1 inch wide. So we'll be working with the male part right now, so the one that goes in here, the one that has the quick release buttons. So put the other one aside and let's slide. If you have a front or a back, I don't think this one has, but I'm not sure. Double check that you're putting it correctly. This is, no, that's the back. It does have a front and a back, as I see a little knob here. So it's the other way. Some of them are different, so double check whichever way yours is. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the front. So you want to either put a rivet here or tie it or just baste it at the end. I don't have rainbow rivets, I think, left, so not a lot of rivets, or any for that matter, will be used in this project. Okay, so take the main and with the right sides together, if you have a right side, center your webbing, and I do like to put it a little further up than normal, just for extra strength. So this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to come with the top, with the lining, right sides together, and pin it in place making sure that that doesn't move, the strap doesn't move. And we're going to stitch along these two curves and the top part only. Okay, so we're going to stitch here, there, and then go back down with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. You can go a few times over the webbing here to ensure that it's tight. Okay. And then go back along the curve. And back stitch. So it should look something like this. I'm going to snip the corners. Using your favorite turning tool, pull the corners out. So push the seam allowance so it's nice and crisp. Like this. If you're using cotton woven, you can definitely press that. I'm going to go ahead and top stitch all around the part that we've just sewn. It's beginning to look like the bag in the cover of the pattern. So cool. Beautiful. This is from the lining part and this is from the front. So now you want to base this piece on the panel that has the pen pocket, and this will be pasted like so on the bottom. So let's pin that in place all around the raw edge of the front panel. Make sure that you catch both the lining and the main. You might find it easier to find the center and first match the centers. But everything should be matching beautifully. See, we're getting to the part where there's a lot of layers in the pattern. So that's why I wanted to make sure that you choose the right fabric for you, because this is not even all of the layers. There's more coming our way. Since I am doing the binding method, I'm going to go ahead and also attach the lining of that panel wrong sides together. Okay, so I'll just pin that in place all around. If you are doing the birthing method, you will be, this is where our path separates, because right now you'll be adding the gusset to the main and then sandwich that in between. So it's a different technique, but with the fabric that I used, I really don't want to birth anything. And I do find that the binding on the edges makes the edges look more crisp on the outside. And we are going to baste this in place. All these many layers. After you pin it, you should have something like this. So pin on the back, front, and let's go ahead and stitch all around. You can use a longer stitch length since it's pretty much just a basting stitch. And I will do this at about 1/8 of an inch. Ish. So basically I want this basting stitch to be in the seam allowance when we add the gusset. Oh, my key is stuck in the bed. There you go. I couldn't figure out what's pulling this. It was the zipper pull key. Okay, when you get to the clip part, just move it away. You don't want to sew through that, otherwise you won't be able to open it. See, there's a lot of layers here. That's what I was talking about. And we haven't even added the gusset yet that has more layers. Okay, front is done. Up next, we're going to baste the back pieces, which is the one with the main and the lining that has the gadget pocket. We're going to baste these two together, just like we did for the front, wrong sides together. So I'm going to put a couple of pins. These are just 2 layers for now. When the gusset comes, there'll be more layers. Well, there's a few layers at the pockets and here where the connectors are. All right, let's go ahead and baste these two together. I'm trying to go like before with less than 1/4 inch seam allowance. This way this basting stitch will stay in the seam allowance when we put it together. So we have a front and a back. Now let's finish the gusset and then we'll put it all together. Okay, for the gusset, take that piece and you'll also need your strap piece as well as the other side of the release buckle, and I just placed a 4-inch webbing just like we did on the male part, on the female part the same way. Just pulled it through the thing, so nothing special there. And now we want to take the part of the gusset that has this like the top flat part. So as you look at the gusset, it looks like this, right? So we're going to be working on this top edge and we're going to sandwich the gusset. Make sure that you're placing it the correct way. If you have a right and a wrong way, so you want the right side up like so. Let's mark the center because I don't trust my judgment there. Okay, my eyeballing. And there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and baste that in place. But we're not done yet with this part. I just wanted it to stay in place. Okay, so we have that basted there. And now you want to take your strap and you want to place your strap right sides together here, again centered. So right sides together means the zipper, which is the right side, facing the zipper here. So you're basically seeing both zippers right sides together, okay? And you want to place that centered right here. Again, I don't trust my eyeballing right now, so okay. Now I do. Pin it in place, and we're going to baste that. And I'm actually going to go ahead and baste all around this part. The bottom part is already sewn, basted together from when we attached the panel and the pockets. I just want to do the top part. And when I get here to the all these layers, I'm going to switch to a stitch, so a shorter and sturdier stitch instead of just a baste, because that part will carry all the weight of the backpack. So now on this side I can go back to a basting stitch. Okay, so your gusset right now should look like this. Once I snip these threads. Okay, so your gusset should look like this from the front. Okay, it's time to put it all together. So you have right now a front, a back, and a gusset. So let's go ahead and start with the front. And we're going to, let me put this part because I don't want to have issues with it. So I'm just gonna stick it in that pocket there, like so. And now you want to place this right sides together, but first let's find some centers and mark some centers as best as you can, because I do realize there's, where are my scissors? In front of my eyes, that's where they were. I do realize there's a lot of layers here, so do your best to mark your centers. Okay. And these are pretty hard to fold. Okay. And then your zipper center, but I won't snip it, I'll just draw a line there. Here. That's the center of the zipper, and then the center of the bottom here. Oh, that one is already marked from before. So I'm going to turn my gusset inside out so I can place these right sides together. Make sure that this buckle goes towards the top. Okay? Just like this. Just like this, right sides together. I will pin first the bottom, the center bottom, and now you'll see how many layers you have. Why I gave you a warning before. Okay, so that's the bottom. Let's move to the top. And then pin all around. Oh mama, I have an industrial and I'm terrified now of all these layers. I know it will work, but I can't imagine putting my domestic through this. It will never forgive me. So definitely this is a pattern for cotton woven if you don't have an industrial, or at least a semi-industrial. And my vinyl is not even interfaced right now. Actually, none of it is interfaced. Oops, first one out. I just realized that I basted the back without putting the foam. So do I want to seam rip a little bit and insert the foam, or do I want to leave it without the foam? I probably normally would say no, not interested, I'll just leave it like this. But given that I did add foam to my straps and they felt really nice, I might just seam rip a little bit of the basting stitches. Good thing they're basting stitches. And insert that foam. Decisions. I was doing a glance inventory of the pieces that I have left, because I shouldn't have any pieces left. I should only have like the hardware for the strap left. And that's when I saw the foam. No! You know that moment when you realize, no! A cartoony like reaction. The more pins you put, clips I mean, the easier it will be to sew. Trust me on that. That's why I keep going back and forth and adding pins. Also, when you stitch this down, you might find it easier to stitch with the flat part on your machine, or you might find it easier, depending on your comfort level and your machine bed, to stitch either like this or like this. So it's up to you. I'm gonna try it both ways and see how I like it. There's no right or wrong answer there. All right, let's do this. We got this. Okay, change your stitch to a sewing stitch. And let's have some fun. And this is sewn with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Go slow, we're not in a rush, we are almost there. You do want to make sure you catch all the layers. Where the zipper is, you're going to have a little smaller seam allowance. To accommodate for the zipper tip. Almost there. All right, let's see what we have, because now I have to look on the other side and afraid that everything stayed in place as it was pinned. You don't want to add the binding before double checking that all the layers are there. Everything looks good, because we can still fix anything we might have missed. Okay, good. No, not good. See, this is an issue that I will fix. See right here? I'm just gonna seam rip a couple of stitches and fix that. Not a problem. It's because I was sewing from the other side. I couldn't see the zipper. But it's okay. We'll fix it now. I feel like I'm performing surgery right now. But it will all be worth it in the end. Come on. 2 more stitches. 2 more stitches. There you go. Alright, so let's catch that properly in place. You definitely need an awl or the tip of your scissors to hold that elastic in not the zipper in place, so it's nice and flat. Because I didn't want a bunched up zipper. Okay, now I'm happy. And see, that's going to be covered by the binding right now, so nothing to stress about. Alrighty, it looks like here I missed a little part. Again, double check that everything is sewn. Here too. Okay. Easy fix there. You might see better if you sew with the flat part on the bed of your machine, because I could have prevented this from happening, but it's okay. I can still stitch it down. There's a lot of layers here. Sorry, baby. Baby being my machine. Okay, let's double check again. Go through all the inside and pull and push, make sure everything is caught in there. If you want to turn it one time to double check, do that and then turn it back up because we need to add the binding. But I do want to check it, so I'd rather turn it twice. So far, so good. Okay, we are ready for the binding. Flip it back up. Grab your binding. So you should have 2 strips that are 1.5 inches. Mine are probably much longer than I need, but I'll shorten it afterwards. And you want to simply, I just do a simple finger press like this and cover your raw edge with it. That's it. It's as simple as that. If you match your thread to the binding, it will definitely not be visible. Because I am lazy and this is my backpack, I don't want to change my thread. I'll just use the unicorn mane, I think. We'll see. Okay, so I'll keep pinning this around and then we'll stitch. Alright, so I pinned everything. I just I stopped here to show you how I finish it at the bottom. So this is where we started, and now I am going to fold about 1/2 inch and overlap. This way there is no raw edge on that side, like so. Just wanted to show you that. And not only that, not only did I finish pinning this all around, but I went ahead and did the right thing and change my thread to a solid black, both in the bobbin and my needle. This is the Wizardry Solid Black Tex 80. So look at me being all professional, in other words. So will I stitch like this? I think I do want to stitch like this. So now we're just going to stitch that binding down. That's just to cover the raw edge. So I'm using a longer stitch, like a top stitch length. And you might want to use an awl or some scissors to keep the corners there straight around the curves. This is where the problem is, where you have so many layers. It's trying to push off, but we'll make it work. The corners are the most difficult part. Go super slow there. Okay, let me fix that corner. The front is done and bound, and because I did the adult thing and matched my thread to my binding, it looks a lot better. I do have to admit that. So depending on the thickness of your layers, you might have, like I have here, see, some excess binding where the zipper is, because that's not very thick. Here I don't have any excess because the layers are thick. Here they're much thinner where the zipper is. So if you want to trim off that binding a little bit, you can. It's all cut at 1 1/4 inch, just to make up for this part here. But it looks very nice, right? It was worth matching the thread. Fine, fine, I'll give you that. It was worth the effort. I'm being dramatic right now. It's super easy to change the thread in this machine. Sometimes I want to be dramatic. There you go. So the back is done. Let's work on the front. Oh, well, the front is done. Let's work on the back. So place your straps inside. I'll just fold them and put them in one of the side pockets, like so. And take your back piece And once again, look at me being all mature. I did seam rip the top and inserted this is all I seam rip, just the top part. And then I inserted my foam so it's soft on my back. It was like a 1 minute thing, but that's why this is open, because I seam rip it to put the foam. Anyways, so now you want to place this right sides together. You can stitch it back up. Well, I could stitch it back up, but it's okay. But first let me find the center bottom. And you also want to open up your zipper so you'll be able to turn the bag after that. Okay, so just like we did before, right sides together. I'm going to match the top first, this part, and we're going to play that excessive pinning game right now. The foam is out of the seam allowance because if you cut correctly the pattern pieces, it will not be in the seam allowance, so that the foam won't add extra bulkiness in the seams. But there's already a lot of layers here, as you can see, so be cautious of that. Let's match the bottom center. There. And then pin all around. And just when you thought you've pinned enough, we can stitch. Or you can pin some more if you have room. I'm liking this size. I thought from the pictures it would be a lot bigger than this, but it's not. So I haven't done the original Wayfarer, and I think that's a small sling. For me, this is a great size. It's not too big like I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a school backpack, but it's really not. At least it doesn't look like it to me. But it's also not a super tiny sling that doesn't fit anything in it. So I'm super happy with the size of this. I need to grab myself the style 1 pattern as well, because I'm liking that double zipper. And I think somebody said in the Backstitch Backroom group that even though that one doesn't have the side water bottle holders, you can put them even if it has that double zipper in the front. Very, very nice. Okay, we're gonna stitch this down with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Hey, don't start snapping at me. Don't be snappy. Because it's very thick, that's why it's starting to snap at me. Okay, so this is the back all pinned together. Let's stitch it down. another one. So far 4 broken during this process, but these are like the inexpensive ones from Amazon, so I'm not gonna cry over them. Go slow where you have the pockets. You have a lot of layers there. A lot of layers in that area. And then at the bottom curve again, that's the hardest part, if you ask me. Out of everything here, the bottom part, the curve, is the one that needs the most attention and slowness. And use a tool to help you push the fabric away while keeping it nice and flat, not puckering. Much easier on the sides. Alrighty, we're going to double check again, just like we did before, to fix any issues that we might have there. Open that double zipper. I don't know if I'm gonna turn it, but I'm definitely going to check to make sure all layers, and I'm feeling it right now, to make sure that all layers are enclosed. We're looking good. Let's grab the second binding strip. And we're going to do the exact same thing as we did before, starting from the bottom. And we're going to pin this in place. Same way. I did cut longer pieces than the pattern called for, so I'm definitely we'll have to remove a lot of the excess. Here, when you get to that corner, because it's an actual corner, it's not curve, I like to just go ahead and pin and then do like a little dart with my fingers there. Quilters will call this a mirrored corner. I am not a quilter and I'm not good at it, so I'll do my best, but quilters will definitely get a much crisper, oops, I have something here, a much crisper corner than I would. So I'm going to place this right here and just fold and do like a little fold there, and I will pivot when I stitch. Same thing on the other side. It is not a big deal if you can get it like a super crisp mirrored corner. It's at the end of the day, it's inside your bag. We're not going to stress about this, right? We're going to enjoy the process and the bag. Okay, so same thing, when we get to the end here, I'm going to, let me remove the excess. I'm going to come around the corner and then I'm going to fold 1/2 inch and overlap over where I started. Okay, so let me show you. This is where I overlapped, right here. And this is how the corners look like. Just do your best. Okay, let's stitch that down. And again, at that curve at the bottom where you have a lot of layers, slow and use a device, a scissor, an awl, and the tip of a pen, something to hold that in place so you don't put your fingers right in there and risk an injury. Oops, where are you going? Where are you going? Let's see how we can do those nice corners here, or not. Again, we will not stress about these corners. Whatever happens, happens. Be careful when you go over all those layers at the top, because again, there's a thick Are you a clean after each project kind of a sewist, or are you all clean whenever? I have to clean my sewing room after a project, like I can't. So all those pins, all those clips you keep hearing that are falling on the floor will be removed by the end of today. Okay, same thing, we made it to the other corner. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, let's verify that everything is in the binding, and then we'll turn, admire, and finish the straps. Add the hardware to the straps. Oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Okay, look at those corners here. All right. Decent. Not perfect, but decent. And this is what it looks like from the other side. Okay, so now let's turn it. Without ripping any nails, hopefully. Well, it's still better than birthing it, just turning it here. It's thick and it has a layer, so it is what it is. And that's why good quality materials are important, because with an inexpensive vinyl you couldn't really do like all these movements and still have it look nice. Come on. If you don't have nails to protect, I'm sure it will be a lot faster. I might have to ask one of my kids to do it. Come on, come on. It's gonna make me take off my ring. Challenge accepted. Maybe I should just soak off my nails instead of taking off my ring. Once I get one corner, it will be okay. There you go. See, it was the ring. It was the ring that was stopping me. Now I can just push it from the inside. There you go. Much better. blame it on the nails when it was the ring. Told you I'm being dramatic. Come on, to your last corner. Work with Mama here. There you go. I'm pushing with my knuckles. Obviously you can't see inside, but I'm not pushing with my fingers, I'm pushing with my knuckles. Ah, done. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, we can put the rings back now, because if I don't, I'll lose them. I know myself. Ah, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. If you've made it out of cotton woven, you can definitely give it a good press. Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Totally worth it. And it glows in the dark. How cool is that? Alrighty. Beautiful. Let's finish the straps, because now we have the strap that has two ends like that. So you'll want to take the last remaining hardware, which is swivel clip and sliders. So we're going to take the sliders So I'm going to put the slider right here, push it down on one side, and then come on this side. Up, back where we first started, and then back down right here. So this is what it looks like from the side. Okay. I'm going to stitch that down. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the last strap. Again, up on one side, down on the other, and then so up on one side, down on the other, then through the swivel clip. All my hardware, as always, is from Wizardry Stitchery Crafts. And then we're gonna go up here, down here, and stitch it down. This is the last stitch. Woohoo! We have finished. Great job everyone this week. You did it. You did it. So now if you want to wear it as a backpack, you clip those in the side D-rings and you open the back zipper and you have yourself a nice backpack. Very cool, right? If you wanted a sling, you close this zipper and you move the other one there and ta-da! You have a sling. Super cool, right? Thank you so much for joining me this week and sewing with me a Quaint Stitch Wayfarer 2.0 sling or backpack. Go ahead and check in with your finished backpack in the day 5 photo of the sew along album. The sew along album is in the Backstitch Backroom on Facebook. You have until Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for checking in with your finished backpack. That's when we'll be drawing the winner for a pattern of choice from a Quaint Stitch, a gift card from Backstitch Fabrics. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!